You know, we all love those stories. Stories like Kevin Smith, taking out several credit cards and maxing them out so he could make his movies. We love the stories like the one that's in theaters this weekend, Iron Lung, where a guy finances his own film. And we love hearing success stories like that. Like I always love it hearing about creative people who bet on themselves. That's great. But we shouldn't lose sight of the fact that betting incurs risk. And more times than not, if we're being honest, the risk does not turn out well. For example, let's even take somebody who's well-founded in the Hollywood system, actress Jennifer Esposito, who is a longtime member of the Blue Bloods cast. She had a recurring character in The Boys. She's been in a lot of stuff, going all the way back a couple of decades. Well, she decided to take a mortgage out on her house to fund her own film. A film that got great reviews, 93% critic rating, won some film festivals, but now it's ended up costing her her house, and she's losing her home. This comes to us from the folks at Coming Soon. Right, The Boys star loses home. She mortgaged to fund the film with 93% Rotten Tomato score. Jennifer Esposito, the renowned leading lady from the 90s who has continued to work in the industry, revealed that she was being forced to give up her home following a financial setback tied to mortgage issues. She mortgaged her home to finance her 2023 film Fresh Kills. She took to Instagram to reveal the challenge. Jennifer Esposito, whose credits include acclaimed works like Crash, Taxi, Summer of Sam, and the Prime Video series The Boys, revealed her personal financial struggle in a video on Instagram. She revealed that she was being forced to give up her home due to mortgage issues. She mortgaged her home to finance her critically acclaimed directorial feature, Fresh Kills, which holds a 93% on Rotten Tomatoes. Yeah, I'm looking like right now because I've been crying because I'm moving out of my home that I mortgaged to make my film, a tearful Esposito said on the video she posted. Despite the critical acclaim of her film, it did not become widely popular and ended up not making its money back. Esposito voiced frustration with quote-unquote people who were in the spotlight who did not help promote her film or spread word about it. I can only guess that she's talking about the lead girl from Marty Supreme, who's got that LA show right now, and she's gotten some award stuff. I can't remember her name right off the top of my head right now, but she was in that, and I guess maybe didn't do anything to help promote the film.
Although she wasn't as big in 2023.
No, that's true. Like at the time, she wasn't as big. Look, this is, again, the darker side and maybe the more realistic side in the film industry of trying to get your own project going. Because at the end of the day, it is a business. And at the end of the day, you've got to make your money back. Or if you're going to talk somebody else into giving you money, you've got to convince them, you've got a plan to make their money back. I remember, I don't think I've shared this story on here before, but I remember just a couple of years ago, when I was looking at how I was going to invest my money and all that kind of stuff, one of the things I thought about was investing in film production. And I decided to set aside $100,000 and I wanted to invest in a indie film. And when I kind of put it out there, I mean, I didn't make it public knowledge. I just put it out in certain circles that, hey, I'm a potential producer looking to invest in films. And what I asked for was, give me a full rundown of what your idea is and send me your business plan that tells me how you plan in advance. I mean, obviously it might not work, but what's your plan to make your money back? What's your plan? And Rob, even at the time, like the amount, I never ended up investing in any films because almost every single, and I got dozens of pitches sent to me. All of them were basically, trust me, bro.
Yeah. You got the pitches, but not how you were going to get the money
No, you don't
back.
understand. Yeah. My idea is so good that I'm sure Disney's going to come along. Well, no, crossing your fingers isn't a business plan. What's your plan? And a lot of them don't have it. And the reality is that for every one Kevin Smith, for every one Markiplier, there's 300 people
right,
who maxed out credit cards, did everything they could do, took a risk on themselves. And I'm not trying to discourage that. I'm not. I'm just saying you got to be realistic, because even if you're somebody in Hollywood who has a career, who has been in award-winning movies and TV shows and stuff like that, it may not work out, because at the end of the day, your movie still has to make money. And I think this is a good reminder for all of us.
You're also having to deal with other people to make, you're not alone. You're not an island. And sometimes those people can screw you over. Sometimes those people feel you might have a great plan, and then someone else is looking like a shark. Well, I got a shark on my shirt. That was not intended. But, and they screw you over, or they have a bad plan, or they take a bad loan out, and then you're stuck, with your finger in the dam. So,
yeah, again, it's a good reminder for everybody, because again, I don't want to discourage betting on yourself. I don't want to discourage taking risks, but you need to make educated risks, and understanding the reality of the scenario is an important thing. Guys, we want to take a second and thank the sponsor of today's episode, PrizePicks. Well, the big game is almost here, and there's no better way to cash in during America's biggest sporting event than with PrizePicks, where it always feels good to be right. With the football season coming to a close, this is your last chance to jump into football action before next year, and PrizePicks is making it easy by giving you $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. What I've always loved about PrizePicks is how simple it is. You're just picking more or less on player projections, building your lineup, and rooting at home while you watch the game. I also really like their early payouts feature. If a player gets off to a hot start, you can cash out before the game even ends. And with the new social feed, you can follow other players, copy lineups that you like, or use them as inspiration for your own. So don't miss out. Download the PrizePicks app today and use the code CAMPEA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CAMPEA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. Anyway, Rob, I mean, as somebody who has lived in this town and worked in this industry, and you've got a lot of people who are filmmakers or aspiring filmmakers, how close to home does a story like this ring for you?
A little too close, right?
Way too close to home right now, especially with our mortgage situation. And I'll tell you, here's a quick story. So, I produced and edited a film called Tango Shalom. All independently done, blessed by the Pope for its message of interfaith dialogue. Pope Francis blessed the movie in the pages of the Vatican newspaper. That's true, by the way. So we had a big deal with Germany, opening in 50 cities across Germany, and a great TV deal. Would have paid back the investors. The movie would have been whole, all great. Well, it opened on October 5th, 2023. October 7th happened. Israel was invaded. What happened there happened. And on October 8th, there were marches in the streets. And how do you think a Jewish-themed film fared in Germany when you had protesters and a national police force? The movie got pulled from theaters, and we lost our German TV deal.
So even when things do start to line up, they can go south.
They can go south. And then it's getting money on there you go. Now it's called, we had to change the name. Now it's called Forbidden Tango.
Ooh.
Because
which is too bad, because Tango Shalom was
so much better.
Well, we're gonna put it back.
Forbidden Tango sounds like a Skinamax.
I know, although it's doing well in Latin America. But the important thing is the problem now with independent cinema, as any independent filmmaker will tell you, is how do you get your money back? And there's no guarantee, like you said, John. Even with the business plan, if you don't go into production with an idea of how you're going to get distribution, you shouldn't do it. Now, I'm not trying to discourage people. It's a lot harder to get distribution now. And even if you do get distribution, it's impossible to get money from your distributor. It's a fool's errand. But Markiplier, he's going to make, he made in one weekend $11 million on his own investment.
But
I'm going tonight because
it's just
my kids want to see
important
it.
that in the backdrop of stories like that, and Kevin Smith and others, to remember for every one of those, there's 100.
Yeah, Markiplier has his YouTube channel is 30.
Yeah, he had something that a lot of independent filmmakers don't have, which is a pre-existing
And
audience.
I as much as I did not like the movie Iron Lung, I'll tell you, I was full of an audience. I was in an audience full of people who did, and it's a big triumph for him. And I'm like, you go, Markiplier. You well done.
Look at Francis Ford Coppola. Talk about name recognition.
Yeah.
And
look what happened with I can't
megalopolis.
Yeah.
But that, maybe 120 million.
Well, yeah, that's we're talking about scale here.
Yeah.
I mean, this is somebody who put out a mortgage on their house, so maybe you're talking $300,000, $400,000. And again, and once again, let me just reiterate, I'm not talking about this story in any way to try to discourage people from pursuing their dreams or taking risks and betting on themselves. Just be wide-eyed when you do it.
You should never mortgage your home.
Yeah,
Never.
don't think, it worked for that guy, so it can work for all of us.
You don't want to take the floor from up under your feet.
Yeah.
No way.
You just got to be careful with it. Anyway, guys, question is for you. What do you think about this? It can be a precarious business trying to get a movie made. Whatever you think about this, jump down in the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.